Kristina Riggle, and I'm chiming in for Inside for Indies. I am inside all the time anyway, even pre-pandemic. This is my writing office. Although I did move that poster of my first book, so it'll be behind me in Zoom calls. So I have altered my space that much. That poster was a gift from Schuler Books, which is my local indie here in the area of Grand Rapids, Michigan. And they have been a huge supporter of mine from very early. I'm wearing a Schuler Books t-shirt. This was given to me when I hosted for Independent Bookstore Day as like a bookseller for the day. And I'd actually been a real bookseller, like an employed staff member in, I believe this was 2007 for the holiday season, because it was Christmas time, we were in a cash crunch, and at one point I was picking up an application for a job at the mall, which was very grim, and then I thought, I'll try my local bookstore and see if they'll hire me. And they did. It was the best retail job a person could have. Book people are great. Not only booksellers, but bookstore customers are pretty awesome. So I'm supposed to give you some of my like talismans and things that make my writing day go smoothly. I've learned in Zoom calls recently that I'm a fidgeter. I always knew that, but now I can see myself do it. Star Wars fans will know what this is. This is excellent for fidgeting. I also have this little seashell that I picked up from Florida in 2018 that I toy with, not just on Zoom calls, but also while I'm thinking and revising and like looking over what I've already written. I'll find myself fidgeting with that. My husband was working in this home office too for a while. Thankfully, he has found himself another space in the house because he was right there at that desk, right behind my shoulder. And although he tried very hard not to get in my way or disturb me, that's just impossible. So I am very glad to have my home office back to myself. And I'll try to turn around here and show you a little bit more. Those are running medals. Running is like a coping mechanism for me. I am not particularly fast, nor have I ever run a full marathon, but I do enjoy it. And I'll see if I can show you how much of a Hamilton fan I am. And I always try to keep in mind, how do you write like you're running out of time? And I try to make good use of my time. Over here are some of my signed books, some of which are by personal friends, others by just authors I've gone to book signings to see like anyone else. And there's also my exercise ball peeking out there. There's no good place to store those things. One of my favorites is, speaking of indie bookstores, I got this at Schuler Books when David Sedaris came to speak, and I waited in the super long signing line because he talks to everyone when he signs books and is super nice, but that means you have to be really patient to get your book signed. And I wasn't going to say, I'm an author too. I generally don't do that because it can be very awkward. But the bookseller running the show that night said to David Sedaris, oh, this person here is an author and she's been to signings at our store, which was very nice. And David Sedaris, talked to me about that. I was like, wow, I don't remember what he said, something clever and funny. But then he signed my book. You and I sat in the same chair. Oh my gosh, come on. So that's the kind of thing that an experience you can only get at an independent bookstore in your community. So I also like to work outside sometimes. This is my deck, but the conditions have to be just so, because it can't be too hot, it can't be too cold. If I wait too long in the afternoon, the sun blinds me here. It also can't be too windy because then my stuff blows around and the patio umbrella blows over. But if the conditions are just so, I love working outside. It's the best. Before I sign off, I just wanted to make sure to shout out some of my favorite indie bookstores. I've talked to you about Schuler Books already. They're my hometown store. They hosted my very first signings, and hired me at one point. So I am very, very grateful to them. McLean Aiken up in Petoskey. If you ever get a chance, you got to go in there. Wonderful, curated experience. Saturn Booksellers, Gaylord, that's a must stop. If you're anywhere in northern Michigan, definitely go in there. They'll take excellent care of you. Back here in Grand Rapids, besides Schuler's, we have Books and Mortar, which is a really clever bookstore name. And it's, again, a great, like, quirky, curated collection of books, and that's a definite must-see. Also, this is a store that's just online for now, but it's an independently owned store called We Are Lit. If you search We Are Lit GR, you'll find them, and specialty being multicultural books, and especially those of you looking to support Black-owned businesses and looking for anti-racism books and novels from different perspectives. You know, that's definitely worth checking out too. And I've also been to Bookseller in Chicago, and they hosted me there for Vivian in Red, my historical fiction. It was such fun. We've got to help out these unique independent stores which really add to the life of the community and the life of our literary community as well, writ large. So hang in there, everyone. Stay safe. Order from your local stores. Be patient, because it can be harder than you think to get books in stock these days. And, we'll get through this. Hang in there. Keep writing. Keep reading.